Hello, I'm Delusion Dispeller. Hi to all of you delightful dispellers out there. Welcome to my channel, Delusion Dispeller. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about narcissists and toxic abusers, but specifically on the second part of this, I believe it is, I will be talking about online abusers, as in YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, social media type narcissists and abusers. So, first, I'm going to talk about some traits of abusers. I'm not going to make this in the original format that I did the other videos in, like short little clips. This is actually going to be more of a live stream format, although it won't be live. So, you'll be able to comment on it after the fact, but I don't want any distractions in the text. I just want to put out the information and then you can do with it what you will. All right. So, first of all, one of the traits of toxic people and narcissists is they are very manipulative. You will often see them when you confront them throwing temper tantrums. You'll see this in online form in angry videos of them trying to look like the victim or the martyr, kind of the attitude of everybody hates me, everybody's against me, everybody's bullying me, picking on me, nobody likes me. Why am I even here? Nobody watches me. Nobody pays attention. Usually there's fake tears, sometimes real tears, because maybe they genuinely feel like this and believe this. They will often wage debates with people to argue over whether they did or said a certain thing. They will be crude. They'll say violent or perverse things that make people uncomfortable. They will often be very offensive. They cannot handle rejection or confrontation, and they literally feel like everybody just despises them. They truly believe and feel this, actually. And the reason why they will lash out in this way of the martyrdom or the poor me or the I hate all of you, why did I ever come on here, or that kind of thing online, is that they lack coping skills. They're unable to handle when somebody says they don't like something they posted or something they did or something about their appearance or whatever. So they will simply use this to manipulate, to try to get sympathy from other people. The other thing they do is they will flatter people that they are trying to draw close to them. Some people call this love bombing. It is used in cults, it's used in abusive organizations and by abusive people. It is used so that not to express that they really care about somebody or that they really genuinely want a friendship with somebody, but to control, to make the other person feel trust in them, only so that later on they can take whatever they learned about the person and throw it up in their face and use it to destroy them. They will crave adoration. They will post videos constantly in order to garner attention and all eyes on them. They like praise. They like comments, even negative comments. If they can't get the positive ones, they're okay with the negative ones because it's still views and it's still attention on them. If they don't get the attention that they want, they will even take down their videos and withdraw from social media to make people wonder where they were, where they went, if they're okay, should we be concerned, should we call the cops, whatever. They'll do both things, basically. They'll either post excessively or totally withdraw. Anything to get your attention. They're very distracting. They will seem to agree with comments that you make or that you're saying, and then suddenly disagree or suddenly challenge something you said in order to derail your comment section or derail your live stream and get all of the people paying attention to what they're saying and doing rather than what you were just talking about. This happens to me all the time in my live streams. And because I'm ADD and people know this, the trolls, if you will, and the people that are toxic will come in and purposely derail my chat. And other people will notice it and point it out to me. And yeah, I see it too, but I just feel like, well, I should answer them. That's the polite thing to do. But they use that politeness to derail everything going on and to sidetrack and get you off topic. So what I need to do literally is just say, hold your comments till after, or your questions, and I will answer them as soon as I'm done, and then block the chat. Don't even look at it. I might start doing that. That might make for a better live stream, at least if I have important information to put out there. Okay. So their point in doing all that is to get you into arguments, debate you, and derail your chat and your comments. So rudeness is another thing. They will purposely say things to evoke shock in you. If they know that you don't like something, they'll purposely post about it, or they'll send somebody else in to post about it, like perverse comments. Like in one live stream I was in, there was a certain symbol posted that they knew was inappropriate to me. And they made it look like I was the one posting it so that they could totally get everybody looking at me as, oh my gosh, did Dee Dee do that? No, Dee Dee didn't. Dee Dee was watching the room. Dee Dee wasn't in the room. But somebody had cloned me and made it look like I was posting perverse symbols. All right. Things that they know that you're against, anything to rile you up, anything to get you mad and get your attention and upset you, they will do this. Triangulation. Some of you have heard me talk about this, what this is, and it's very commonly used by abusive people. They will act like your friend to your face and then be going behind your back to your other mutual friends or mutual acquaintances and tell them things against you. They'll basically say, well, did you know that Dee Dee did this years ago? Did you know that Dee Dee's like this? And maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But the point is, it's used to basically put little poison seeds against me to that person's ear. So that eventually what happens is if the person believes that person, they will turn against me. Mission accomplished. They will also come to you and speak to you against someone else. That is what triangulation is. So relationships become destroyed. They'll say, don't listen to so-and-so. She did such and such, or he did such and such. That's what triangulation is. And pretty soon you see people kind of avoiding you or treating you differently. It's because little seeds were being dropped in their ear against you. Devaluation. Mockery, smear campaigning, shunning people. Like I told you, planting seeds in others against you, ridiculing you, playing head games, mind games with you. This is all part of the devaluation. When they decide that you are no longer useful to them, because that's what narcissists and abusive people are looking for, is people to use to either advance themselves in some certain way or just to find out information about people. When you will not do that for them, when you are useless, they will start devaluing you, saying things like, I don't know what I ever saw in you. You're not a true friend. You're never there for me. Classic example, I was told by somebody I was not a good friend. I was not keeping in touch with them enough. And one day I decided, okay, well, maybe they're right. Maybe I'll just, keep in touch a little bit more, make sure they're okay. So I started asking this person, are you okay? Is everything all right? And as a classic abusive individual, they responded by going on the next day online and telling people I was blowing up their phone. So me trying to be a better friend was twisted and used to say that I was being a nuisance. So you see what I mean? Then discard. They discard you. They will throw you out. They will often say they don't know you, never knew you, and act like they don't know you. And act like you're a new person that they never met before when you might have had a few-year relationship with them. Name obsession. Narcissists and toxic people that don't value people as individuals but have them as objects in their life to use will often not be able to get your name out of their mouth. They'll constantly talk about you to people. You'll be their constant focus. They'll make videos about you. And I'm mostly talking about cyber narcissists here in this case. This is because they are focused on you in a hyper excessive way. They're spending a lot of time, even offline, figuring out ways to torment you, get at you, whatever. They're spending a lot of time focused on how to pull you down and pull your strings. So those are some traits of narcissists and also abusive people. There's a guy named Sam Vaknin who I originally started this channel by reviewing his information and simplifying it down to like a second, third grade level that everybody could understand, maybe sixth grade. And he stated that narcissists are fly-by-night people, and they're not true netizens, citizens of the internet, basically. He's right that they're not true netizens. In other words, many of us, most of us, I would say, that have good, genuine hearts, come to the internet to supply information or get information to better ourselves, to help other people, to be in the know of things that are going on. Narcissists are not here for that reason. Narcissists are here to use people. They're here to get narcissistic supply, which is adoration or even the fear of other people. So they know that they can get away with things online because they're well aware that the law does not like getting involved with these kind of things on the internet. They know what they can and can't get away with. Many of them are friends with the police in their town. They have connections online with law and authorities, and they just are very manipulative people that know how to wrap people around their little finger to get what they want and to prevent being held accountable. Narcissists have fake skills and talents. They will often use their looks or their sexual prowess online to lure people in. It's not uncommon for a narcissist to claim that they can, they're a great skier and they won all these awards and whatever. And people that know them up close and personal will tell you, no, that never happened. They did not ever go entering any type of ski contest. They didn't win any awards. They'll claim certain things that just aren't true. Anything for attention, again, to get that narcissistic supply. They want constant attention from people. Online offers a narcissist a certain amount of celebrity because it's all about image with some of them. And for other ones, it's just literally about putting out this false portrayal of who they are and keeping this false image going in general. Not necessarily that they're all about their looks, but they may be all about just having people think that they're the greatest thing since sliced bread, so to speak. On the internet, there are very little risks to the narcissist. It doesn't come with the hurt and the disappointment that maybe an in-person relationship might bring for them. They're pretty protected online because if something happens that they don't like, they can just disappear offline. They can hit the X, as I say, and everything just goes away. And that's true. And yes, I've said that, and no, that does not make me a narcissist. But narcissists definitely know that they can come and go as they please, and nobody's going to question it. Well, if people do, they just make up some lame excuse that isn't true, usually. So when they go offline, maybe to regroup or whatever they need to do to figure out and hone their skills for the next attack, they may come back as someone else. It's not uncommon for a narcissist to change their name and their persona online because they can get away with it. Some people think it's impressive or cute, and of course that brings them more narcissistic supply. They have an internet addiction. Narcissists rarely, and abusive people rarely leave the internet because it's just such an easy source to get what they want, which is attention and supply. So they're not going to leave anytime soon if it's, serving their purposes. And it's always serving their purposes because whether people love them or hate them, it's still giving them the supply. See what I mean? You get it? So basically, what does a narcissist ask when they meet a person? How useful will this person be to me? What are they going to do for me? Are they going to make me look good? Well, they're really smart. So maybe if I hang out with them, people are going to think, wow, she's hanging out with that smart person. She must really be something. Or maybe they're pretty. And, oh, wow, that maybe I'm not, physically pretty, but this person is, and they like her. So I'll just hang close by her so that I can get noticed too. They literally think this way. They are known for monopolizing interactions and disrupting things, kind of like a troll would do. A lot of them are trolls. They get their feedback from people when they act out in how they see people react to their acting out. This trains them. Do I do more of these types of videos or do I do less of these types of videos? Now, granted, creators will look at that anyways when we make our videos. We want to see by the reaction of people, do they like this content or do they want more of this kind of content? Yes, we do that. But a narcissist, it's all about motive, and their motive is to boost their own fragile ego up to look like somebody that they're not. So when they act out and they make a certain kind of video and you react to it and say, oh my gosh, that's so disgusting. Well, the narcissist has a choice, make more of those or make less of them. From my experience, if somebody reacts in disgust about something a narcissist posts, they will just post more of it because that's a reaction and they want any type of extreme reaction they can get. The internet, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, depending on if you're trying to expose the narcissist or just avoid them, produces high paranoia in the narcissist. Internet interactions make the narcissist feel very afraid that people see through them and they don't want you to know who they are deep inside because they're afraid of who they are deep inside. They've stuffed it down for so long, they don't want to see the ugliness that's in there. So they will withdraw sometimes in a schizoid fashion, like I told you, just kind of ghosting and disappearing without any explanation or anything like that. Or sometimes an extreme explanation. I'm in the hospital, or I fell down the stairs, I broke my leg, I just got, I don't know, rejected from a job and I need time to regroup, whatever. They'll make up anything they can. And it's hard to know if they're ever telling the truth because they usually don't. The antisocial narcissists will gather people that adore them around them, either through gaining their sympathy or making them angry about a cause. And then they will go on the warpath and fight other people online. So it just depends what type of person you're dealing with. And they're just like personalities and real, normal everyday people. In narcissists, there are different forms of and levels of narcissism. So it just depends what type of narcissist you're dealing with. Will they withdraw or will they attack? And some do both. It just depends. Okay, there is no one size fits all in their reactions either. So they might collaborate with others or they might totally disappear. Even people that are skeptical of them will fuel their narcissistic supply. As somebody once said, if they can't get you to adore them, they'll get you to fear them. Eventually, some narcissists will seek in-person attention because being online to them, yes, it's a safe place and everything, but it's not everything. There's something about eye contact. There's something about seeing a person's body movements and knowing, oh yeah, I got this one. They're really falling for this thing that I'm saying right now because they're leaning in, they're paying attention, and they're answering like affirmatively, like, oh yeah, I get that. Or they're answering reflectively, like, I see. They need that feedback because that's their supply. So sometimes it's not very easy online to get that, and they'll go offline too to find that narcissistic supply fulfillment. So they'll often go offline and form other attachments, even while they're online. So sometimes they'll even take their online attachments offline so they can have this private honing and grooming, if you will, on the side. In grandiose narcissism, you have attention seeking people that are saying, look at me. Don't you love my hair? Don't you love my eyes? Am I sexy? Look at my body, that kind of thing. I know I've done that too. About, what do you think of my hair? What do you think of this? I have a little bit of narcissism in me, but everybody has a certain amount of narcissism. It's what you do with it that matters. Do you do this to selfishly manipulate people just because you want the attention and you crave it? Then you're probably not a healthy narcissist. But if you do it just because you genuinely want to know, well, is this a good look on me? That's a whole different ballgame. It still could be considered narcissistic, but it's a healthy narcissism to better yourself. Okay, so one narcissism, the healthy kind, is to better yourself and to improve on your skills and to grow you in a healthy way and even reach your full potential and to help other people reach theirs. And then there's an unhealthy relationship with narcissism, which is status and attention. Vulnerable narcissists are very reserved. They can be very quiet. They get very easily slighted or threatened. They feel very nervous when you draw attention to any flaw that they might have or anything that you question. They're afraid of risk, but they will risk things, and it causes very bad reactions in them when it doesn't go the way they want. They can be very deceitful, very selfish, not faithful in relationships at all. When their view of themselves is challenged, they will react aggressively. They'll act resentfully, bitter, angry, nasty. These are vulnerable narcissists. All right, the DSM-V gives you some traits of narcissism. There's actually 9. I'm just going to cover a few of them. Grandiosity, we already covered. It's basically feeling like you're somebody that you're not, painting yourself to be somebody that you're not. Empathy means feeling what other people feel to an extent that you can really put yourself in their shoes and in their position. Narcissists cannot do that. They don't care what you feel except as it affects them and gives them the narcissistic supply to be your rescuer, your healer, your mentor, your guide, whatever. If it fuels their ego, if it fuels their image, then they care. And it's not really a true care because it's selfish. They don't care like, oh my gosh, that must really hurt, or you must feel so sad, because they care that you're sad. They may say, oh my gosh, you must feel so sad, because they're mimicking other people that say that to you, but they don't really truly care that you're sad. They just think, oh, well, if she feels sad and I comfort her, then I can look like somebody. I can look like the comforter. I can look like the healer, the mentor that came along and took her under my wing, and people will admire me. See what I mean? Not a heartfelt, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for this person, maybe I can help them. It's a whole different ballgame. They feel very entitled, like, well, of course you're going to do that for me because I am who I am. I can't imagine you wouldn't want to be there for me or want to be engaged in that activity with me, because look who I am. I mean, after all, who wouldn't want to be seen with me? That type of entitlement thing. Not in a normal person. They might want a companion, like, oh, it'll be great. Let's have fun hanging out. I enjoy your company. We have such a good time together. That's different than the narcissist who is like, well, you make me look good. I love being seen with you because everybody likes you. So therefore, I'm somebody because I'm with you. They need admiration and attention excessively. Always. They will not stay gone for long if coming back online will give them that attention and admiration that they crave. Let's see. Think of it this way. A mother raises children, a healthy mother, to become good individuals, healthy citizens. Somebody's going to contribute in a good way to society. The mother will protect and nurture her child. Versus the narcissistic egg donor, as I call them, mother, who uses that child for attention and to get admiration and attention on themselves. We see this in Munchausen syndrome, where they'll actually make their children sick or harm them to make it look like they got hurt so they can go to a hospital and get attention of the doctors and the nurses. Well, not all narcissists are Munchausen people, obviously, but a narcissist will still often use their children as an attention-getting thing. And if that child doesn't perform, for instance, in sports, we see this. If that child doesn't win the game, that makes the parent look bad. So then they get angry with the child and punish them, or they just excessively goad them into being perfect. There was a movie I saw a while ago about a coach that was a narcissist, and he did this to the team member. He kind of took a special interest in this one person on the team, and he drove that guy so hard that it abused him and hurt his body physically and almost killed him. So yeah, it's kind of how it is in an extreme. It's not always going to go to that extreme, but sometimes it does. Another scenario, when you're confronted by somebody like, hey, your reactions to this or the way you said that or whatever was hurtful, maybe you want to, look at that or whatever. A healthy-minded person will say, oh my gosh, maybe I should look at that. Gosh, maybe I do that. Maybe I owe some people an apology, or maybe I can make this right. Maybe I can change this in myself. Not a narcissist or an abuser. When you confront them, there's something wrong with you. You're stupid. You're awful. You're cruel. How could you say that to me? Oh my gosh, you're ridiculous. What are you talking about? Nobody else sees that. Only you do. That's the difference in the reaction. Self-reflection versus projection onto the other person. Grandiose and vulnerable. Let's talk about how that comes about. Well, it's believed that narcissism can be from nurture or nature, which means you can either be born a narcissist, which most people don't hold to that theory, or you can be raised in a situation that caused you to go into narcissistic traits? Well, grandiosity often is seen in children that were the star child of the family, the performer in the family. Like I said, the sports hero, the celebrity movie star, TV star, whatever. That child was put on a pedestal, put higher than they should be, and expected to do things that were out of their league, and were praised when they did those things and punished or ostracized when they didn't. Vulnerable narcissism is often seen in children that were excessively abused, shunned, or punished, with the silent treatment, with being ignored, with having their items taken away, whatever, in excess. It's always excess when it comes to personality disorders. It is things on hyper overdrive. So whereas a child disciplined could have a video game taken away, the narcissist will take it away for months, from their child. So it's excess. Whereas a child might perform in a dance recital and get, applause. A child of a narcissist who performs in a dance recital is elevated to status of queen and thrown a party and, automatically signed up in the highest ranking dance performances they could possibly be in, because it makes the narcissist look back good as the parent. Because look at my child, look at how well they perform. Can a narcissist get better? That's the going question of everybody, especially people dating them or married to them. Now, it's debatable. Some people believe, nope, once a narcissist, always a narcissist. Once an abuser, always an abuser. I don't hold to that belief. I think a narcissist can get better if they are at a level where they are willing to see their own flaws. This is rare in narcissism because when you confront them about their flaws, they see it as everybody else being the jerks for confronting them. But if they are the type of person that somehow, some way, you can maybe have a bunch of people keep pointing out, hey, you're doing this. Yes, you're doing this. Oh my gosh, you're doing it again. Maybe, just maybe, if they are that person that can see that flaw and can see that, well, gee, maybe I do this stuff, they could possibly be taught compassion and empathy and healthier views of other people. As I said, it's rare, but it can happen. And honestly, the only way it can happen is if all the supply of narcissism, all of the adoration, even the fear of them, is taken away and removed, and they are taken out of those situations where people give them that attention, that supply. Then they can be taken aside and reprogrammed. Literally, that is what has to happen. They need to almost go back into the womb in a sense and learn, hey, when you pull the kitty's tail, the kitty's screaming and scratching you because it hurts. When you go over to little Susie, your sister, and take her toy away, she's getting mad and grabbing your ankles because you took something that belonged to her, and that's not right. So you need to give the toy back to Susie, and you need to stop taking things from her. They literally need, now I don't know how they do it with an adult. Obviously, it would be higher level scenarios in adult fashion. But if somebody can be taught that other people are separate entities from themselves and have feelings like they were not allowed to have as a child, then they could indeed be retrained to have empathy, to have sympathy, to have true compassion, to feel for other people, or at least acknowledge that other people have feelings. But it's very rare, very uncommon, but it's not impossible. It's all up to the situation and the individual narcissist. As for you who are being abused by a narcissist, who are finding yourself in situations with those traits that I just explained, if you can, your best idea is to get out of and away from the situation. If you can't or won't, then the best thing you can do is to get some books on codependency. Make sure you are not feeding the narcissist's ego. Make sure you are not believing the lies of the narcissist that smear you on a regular basis. And be sure that you're safe if that narcissist is living a double life, that they could come back and give you a disease or cause you any, physical harm, that you tell somebody, always tell somebody that's a safe person if you're in an abusive relationship. Also, an important thing to do is if you feel like you're being abused by a narcissist, gather people around you that you know may know this person and compare notes. The thing the narcissist hates the most, and also do this if it's safe, make sure the narcissist does not know what you're doing in any way, shape, or form. Make sure they're trusted people you're talking to, and they're not going to go back and tell the narcissist, well, she's been talking to me about blah, blah, blah. What are you doing? Are you doing this stuff? Because you could be in harm's way. Some narcissists can become very violent and even deadly. So you don't know exactly who you're dealing with, or maybe you do know. Guard yourself, protect your heart, protect your life, and do this everything I'm telling you in a safe way. Make sure everybody knows that you trust, that you're in an abusive relationship and you're trying to get out, or you're trying to cope with it. And make sure you talk to people that have been with this person and ask them, did they act like this when they were with you? Did you see this too? Tell me more about them. Now it's your time to do the research. It's your time to scope out things and find out. Do background checks. I know narcissists hate it when they hear that people are checking out their background. They don't want you to know they have skeletons in the closet. Dangerous, deadly skeletons sometimes. So check it out, but do it privately. Always be stealthy when dealing with a narcissist, because they're very smart and they have very good antennae and they can tell what you're up to. So please, please have comrades that stand by you during this time when you're taking back control of your life. And like I said, the first and best bet is to get out of the relationship. But if you can't, find out what codependency means. Make sure you're not doing that. Make sure you are not dependent on the narcissist. I don't know how to tell you to do that, because some people have physical and mental disabilities where they are dependent in relationships, and they're easy prey and fun targets for the narcissist because they're not going anywhere. So I'm not really sure how to tell you to deal with that. Reach out to agencies if you need to. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but you need to protect yourself. You're worth it. You deserve better. You deserve the best. Don't settle for less. Anyways, I'm going to conclude this video here. Feel free to reach out and write to me at delusiondispeller@gmail.com. Try to keep your writing somewhat short, or break it up into individual paragraphs, because my attention span isn't the greatest. Anyways, God bless you. Thanks for watching. Shalom, and I will see you on the next broadcast. Bye.